Yeah. All right, let's get into this new news because we got a lot of it. So Dr. Mundo has been revealed. There's a video on YouTube. You can check it out. More importantly, for our purposes, his abilities have been revealed. So let's go through that really quick. His passive is called Goes Where He Pleases. He resists the next immobilizing effect that... Hang on 1 second. Colton, have you seen this yet? Have you seen any of this? Oh, okay. Okay. Dr. Mundo resists the next immobilizing effect that hits him, instead losing current health and dropping a chemical canister nearby. He can pick it up by walking over it, restoring a portion of his maximum health and reducing his passive's cooldown. Enemies moving over the canister destroy it. Additionally, he also has increased health regen based on his maximum health. So the numbers are out for this, and this is kind of the only ability that I want to talk about numbers wise. Because I think it's the only one that's going to be truly problematic. First of all, his passive health regen is 2% every 5 seconds, which is a lot. I think at
2% of his max health
every 5 seconds, yeah. Which, you know, might be pretty close to what he has now. I can't remember. But I mean, 2% of 4,000 every 5 seconds is, I think, 16 a second. And that's before like Spirit Visage or anything additional on top of that. So it's a lot. Otherwise, the immobilizing effect kind of immunity is a 45 to 15 second cooldown from 1 to 16, and picking up the canister reduces the cooldown by 15 seconds. So at level 1, you can get the cooldown down to 30 seconds. And then at level 16, you get the cooldown down to 0 seconds.
Yeah, you just when you pick up the canister, it's back up.
Yeah. I guess we can come back to our thoughts after we talk about all of the abilities. But this is the only thing that I think is truly problematic with the character, or potentially problematic. His Q is Infected Bonesaw. He throws an Infected Bonesaw, dealing magic damage to the first enemy hit based on their current health and slowing them. Unfortunately, no pulling out of the cleavers here.
Now I heard that Aiden felt that this ability is the only problematic one of the set, because I thought it was his E and Aiden thought it was his Q.
Did I say that?
No, I'm just fucking with you.
Okay, I was gonna say I'm like it's so.
I was making a bad joke that we all felt a different ability. Was the Brian one.
I see. His W is Heart Zapper. He electrocutes himself for a few seconds, dealing persistent magic damage to nearby enemies and storing a portion of the damage he takes as gray health. At the end of the duration, he deals a burst of magic damage to nearby enemies and heals his gray health if an enemy is hit. The heal is reduced if only minions or monsters are hit. He can recast it to end its effects early. His E is Blunt Force Trauma. Passively, he has bonus attack damage increased by based on his missing health. On active, he slams his medical bag into an enemy, dealing physical damage based on his maximum or his missing health. If the enemy dies, they are swatted away, dealing this ability's minimum damage to enemies they pass through. This is sort of like an auto attack based Scion E, and it must only
kicks them if it kills them. Right?
Yeah, it must kill the unit to kick them away. Yeah. And then his ultimate is Maximum Dosage. Dr. Mundo pumps himself full of chemicals, instantly healing a % of his missing health. He then heals a portion of his maximum health over a long duration, gaining bonus move speed and attack damage while he's healing. So very, very similar to the old Dr. Mundo, except instead of costing health to activate, it just instantly heals you for your missing health, and then heals you for your maximum health afterwards. So sort of the same idea that you want to ult ideally at pretty low health to get the most use out of it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but instead of a quick chunk, it's a quick burst of healing at the start.
Exactly, yeah. A little bit less punishing for the Mundo player, but provides sort of the same idea. So pretty cool.
Get a lot of health back.
Yeah, and then of course the skins are going to be coming out as well. Very special shout out to I think Mr. Mundoverse and Corporate Mundo. They both look fantastic. But yeah, a lot of people are a little bit disappointed that this character kind of is Mundo modernized, I'll say, because I think that's a good description of this new character.
Mhm.
How do you guys feel about it?
I think it's very similar to the Pantheon rework compared to other reworks that we've seen,
Absolutely.
where it's more like as you said, a modernization of his kit rather than a full blown rework. Like the reality is the passive, I guess the canister mechanic's pretty new, but the Q is pretty similar. I guess the E is like completely different. I guess
in a way,
it's like I don't
so
know.
it went from big auto attack to like potentially kick auto attack.
Yeah.
Yeah, the passive AD like for missing health is really, really nice for the character as well.
I guess like the main thing is it's not as crazy as we thought it could have been, which I don't think is a bad thing. I just think it's way more in line with old Mundo, which sometimes a lot of the reworks have like changed shit up like enough that we were like, holy fuck, this is crazy. Like look at Fiddlesticks. Like, I guess Fiddlesticks is a pretty bad example too, because he still isn't in essence the same character. Scion's a great example though, where he just isn't the same character in the fucking slightest.
Yeah.
Scion's a good example. I think Galio is another really good example, where like it just changed how you play him entirely. And like this, it's Mundo's the same guy. He's just been modernized and hopefully a little bit better feeling to play as and against. I think it looks fine. I was hoping for more, but I think that this is like a quality modernization of a character when I was hoping for like a full rework.
Yeah, I think that's how a lot of people feel as well. I don't necessarily feel that way, but I also didn't feel crazily attached to the character as a whole, so I don't, necessarily care what comes of it. But I really like it. I think it sort of keeps his theme as like an anti-CC tank, while also allowing for a little bit more counterplay rather than my character has tenacity, a lot of it. Good luck.
Yeah, I pulled up on stream the like concepts for the Mundo rework, the concept art when we first saw that dev blog like a year ago, and it's like a lot of these are so fucking crazy that what we ended up with just feels not as insane, I guess. Which once again isn't a bad thing, but like I pulled up the concept art where it's like G is literally he's a fucking hand, like
I
don't know,
yeah,
like this didn't allow me to like contain my expectations properly, like seeing stuff like this, but I don't know, it feels very average, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. It's just he needed a modernization at the very least, and he's gonna at least get that, which I think is good.
I think that's really the thing, is that like the idea of rework versus modernization isn't really anything that's ever been like pitched or discussed, and that's just kind of what it feels like here, where it's like, hey, we sanded over the rough spots of Mundo, but he's essentially the same character, which again they've done in plenty of other reworks. But I think particularly for me, like the time from when it was announced to now, as well as like that concept art, I was expecting them to have made big changes, and it's like, okay, Mundo's gonna do some like crazy weird shit, and it's like, no, he still throws cleavers and he runs at you, and like instead of burning you, now he shocks you, and instead of slapping you once really hard, he slaps you once really hard, but then keeps AD for a little bit. Like again, it's good, and they've I think he's in a better spot than he was. I was just hoping for like out of left field crazy Mundo shit.
Yeah, I agree.
Fair enough.
Cool.
Awesome. So let's move on to, I guess we'll do the patch note then. 11.11.